والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه ومن والاه. Brothers in Islam, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in one verse talks to the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. He says, and if you Lord, and if Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala had willed, He could have made all people one nation, but they shall continue to disagree. This verse and other verses in Quran show that difference between people is something natural. That Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala created people differently. They have different opinions. They have different cultures. They have different philosophies of life. They have different ideas. So we have to respect the other's opinion. And difference and diversity and disagreement between people is a sunnah of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in this world. If Allah wanted to create people as one nation and people agree on one thing, He could do it. But Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala with His wisdom created us differently. We have different opinions until the day of judgment. So here I'm focusing on how can we deal with this test. It's a test from Allah that we are different, that we have different opinions. It's a test from Allah. How can we deal with this situation? How can we benefit from our differences rather leads to destructive and bad consequences? I'm here mentioning a few points. The first point is that respecting each other. We have to respect those they have different opinions. We have to accept those they disagree with us. One important point here is that a lot of people, they think that if you accept others, if you respect others' opinions, that means you agree with them. That means now you have the same opinions. It doesn't mean that. It only means that you give them this freedom that Allah gave them, the freedom that people can express their opinions, they have different opinions. It only means that you follow the sunnah of Allah. Of course, not all the differences is acceptable from our perspective, but we don't have any choice. We have to accept that as a reality. You cannot force people to believe what you believe, because Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, had your Lord willed, all people on this earth would have believed. Would you force people to believe? So we have to accept this reality. It's a reality that we cannot escape from. We have different opinions. So because if we accept each other, then we can live with each other. The second point is that disagreement should not lead to violence, should not lead to problems, should not lead to cutting relationships with those they have different opinions. Unfortunately, we sometimes disagree on small things, but these small things lead to big problems. We have to learn from our scholars. We not only learn from our scholars the Islamic knowledge, not just only jurisprudence. We also learn from their good behaviors. Yunus al-Sadafi, he was one of the students of Imam al-Shafi'i. He says, I haven't seen anyone more thoughtful, more mindful than Imam al-Shafi'i, because he said, one day I disagreed with him, because we disagreed on one thing, okay, on a particular thing that from fiqh. But he says, then we separated from each other. Then Shafi'i came to me and he held my hand and he said, why we cannot, even if we disagree on things, why we cannot stay brothers? Why we cannot stay that we love each other? Why we cannot stay on this brotherhood that Allah gave us? So we have to learn from these scholars. Also we have to learn from Allah. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala created people differently. And they, at the same time, most of the people, they don't believe in Allah. Most of the people, they deny the existence of Allah. Most of the people, they don't follow the right path. But at the same time, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala accepts them in this world. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala does not cut His relationship with His servants. So it's not a problem that we disagree. What's the problem is when these disagreements produce and create big problems among people. The third point is that the one who forces people to believe what he believes or she believes, this person is going against the sunnah of Allah. Because Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala first created people with freedom. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gave people freedom. So when you force people to believe what you believe, you are going against this sunnah. And the second point is that difference between people is the first. What we call in Arabic is al-asl. Is everything in this world is different. You cannot find two things in this world that they are same in all the aspects. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala created us differently. So we have to respect this sunnah from Allah. The one who does not accept, does not respect others' opinion is like Fir'aun. Fir'aun, he was saying, مَا أُرِيكُمْ إِلَّا مَا أَرَى. He was saying, you cannot have your opinion except my opinion. You cannot have any other ideas that except what I say. You cannot express your beliefs, your ideas. You have to follow what I say. So, as a Muslim, we have to follow the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, not Fir'aun, because the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he was consulting other Sahaba, and he was respecting those they disagreed with him. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala with all His mighty, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala with all His greatness, accepts the differences between people, even with those they disagree with Him. So we have to do the same. So a Muslim should be humble, should follow this qaida, this legal maxim among Muslims when they say, my opinion is true, my opinion is right, but it may not be true, and others' opinion is wrong, but it may be true. So we have to be humble with this and leave our arrogance, because here you follow Fir'aun and you don't follow the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam when you don't accept any other differences between people. We ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to make us humble. We ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to make us live with each other, even with those they have different opinions with us. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم ارحمنا فأنت الراحم، اللهم ارحمنا فإنك أنت الرحيم. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل، ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول أو عمل. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون ولذكر الله أكبر. أقم الصلاة يرحمك الله.